And my whole life, I've watched the cost of living increase through inflation. And that, that's like a scale. And you see the debasement, the destruction of your currency, as its worth diminishes and inflation goes up, the worth, it's just mathematical. It's a perfect, scale. That's exactly how it works. And to this day, I mean, it's just, people have to understand what's going on here and how it's happened. And then these criminals, they're just thieves. Look how they've stolen the wealth of our nations. Okay? And how's it going to get paid off? Taxes? How? What are they going to do? They've got no ideas. Gross domestic product, well, more and more jobs are going overseas. I mean, is anybody talking about bringing industry back? I mean, it's just ridiculous. These people are more than willing to use supply and demand when it comes to the labor force. You ever notice that? Oh, well, we've got all these people just wanting jobs. I mean, I pay them less. It's supply and demand, right? But they don't want to talk about how supply and demand is supposed to work, like it worked for the VCR. They don't want to talk about that fact, that we've got more surplus housing in America than ever before in history, and the highest housing prices. Or they may have dropped from a balloon high at one point. I don't know, in some areas. But in a lot of areas, they're up even more from that balloon period. When the balloon was maximum, inflated at the 2008 bailout, when everybody wanted these bankers and, these minions of these money printers that went along with this thing, all these vultures and scavengers and just thieves, that are stepping outside the bounds of common decency, handing all these, borrowers these contracts or these fine print and all this crap, this sorcery. It's sickening. It's repulsive, repugnant what they've done, how they've stolen our wealth, what they've done to how they stole people's houses. This is our wealth, home ownership. Now the government is fascist. I say this with all sincerity. I mean, whenever the government is collaborating with private interests to jack up prices against the best interests of the public at large, the general public, that's a bad thing. That's a fascist policy. That's wrong. And the reason they're doing it is to get higher property taxes. So the motivation is clear and simple. They even talk about this openly in the media. What a great thing it is when housing prices are up because the tax base goes up for the city. It's sickening to me what they've done to us. How they have just misled us. We're so stupid. God, people are stupid. Thinking high housing prices is good. I mean, and I'm probably a minority that, sit down and think about it, folks. People are so stupid. And a lot of people don't have a pot to piss in, and they still think it's good because their parents own property, and they believe they're going to inherit it. So their sick little twisted minds, they're thinking, they're not living in the present. They're not saying, well, I am paying exorbitant rents here, and it's really hurting this guy that can't afford to pay it. I mean, do people understand how much you clear on a minimum wage job? What is it, like $1,000 now? What the hell? How is this possible? People are so stupid. And, and then we want to talk about minimum wage and how it would hurt the economy to raise minimum wage and cause inflation when it's an adjustment to inflation. And it's a great opportunity to blame the market manipulators, those fixing prices. Don't blame the recipient of the oppression. I mean, people's rent is $1,000. So you think they don't need government subsidies? And then you want to talk about Cloward and Piven? And then the social welfare system set up here. Another industry revolving around the problem, right? Now it's never in the interest of the people working within the industry, making good pay, to ever get rid of the problem being poverty, okay? This is what it's all about. People got to get it. It's all so simple and clear how we've been taken and what it's going to take. We need to gain control over the money printing, the circulation of currency. And if we, the people, don't do that, we're in a lot of trouble, folks. Anyhow, another point I want to make about the Pope. A lot of people don't understand this. These 10 commandments. The Jews know this, but Saturday is the 7th day of the week. A lot of people know this, but they don't put together. It is the Sabbath day, and it is the day, Christians largely go to church on Sunday, and because they'll say, well, about Easter and Jesus being raised on Sunday, but they don't really know the history that it was really the Roman Catholic Church, again, wielding its power to change dates and times. This is what they're into. They're the ones, that we tell time now, a day starts at midnight instead of, at sundown. So understand the power that these people wield. You know, it says, remember the Sabbath day. And how many people really remember that today is that day? And Jesus said, look, this day was given to man. This is a gift for you. You're not going to offend me if you don't honor the Sabbath. Jesus said, look, don't you hypocrites that say don't do this and that, but you do this and that on the Sabbath day. I mean, it's a gift to you to just rest and be at peace and say, you know what? I'm going to cast all my cares aside. I'm going to thank God. God gave me everything I need. He put the fruit on the trees. He put the grain in the fields. He put the fish in the sea. He gave me the brain in my skull. He gave me the wherewithal in order to survive and to thrive and to be happy in this world of misery and suffering, unnecessary. That's key to understand. I'm not complaining about natural disasters or accidents or disease and death and things that we all have to experience across the board. I'm complaining about all the stuff that was invented, conjured up by a ruthless gaggle of merciless thugs. That's the stuff I'm complaining about. And I want us all to get it, how roundly, how thoroughly we have all been taken to the cleaners, and how these people have gotten away with it, and what it's going to take to extricate ourselves from this dire mess that we're in. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up now. And, just remember, don't have any faith in this system. The same way the scripture says, don't have no faith in the flesh, the carnal nature. It's unreliable. It's flimsy. And that's what we've got to feel about this world system. It's going down. It's going down hard. It has to. It's inevitable. It's just right being stronger than wrong, truth being stronger than lies, good being stronger than bad, light being stronger than darkness, on and on in that theme. And so it's like mathematics. It has to happen. It will happen. It's logical. It's reasonable. It's scientific that all these evil people will have their comeuppance. They will have their day of reckoning, and it's not far away. So all the decent people out there, keep your chin up. And I got to remind myself, if nobody else listens to these videos, I know I'm speaking truth to power. Somebody in a position of security has to monitor my speech, right? I can't say anything incendiary that's going to get the FBI coming down on me or anything like that, right? So, I know somebody's listening, but, let's remember, we are a family, and be on the right side of this family. That's the human side. And there's a lot of mean people out there. And, we can't let this go on, because what they're turning us into is just a bunch of decadent, discombobulated, distraught, slobs, basically. That's it. That's what we've been turned into. And, we've got to tell these people what's what, and that's it. We're foot soldiers, like it's written in the Bible, that God created us just a little lower than the angels. So we've all got really big shoes to fill, and we've got to confront the evils in the world, and we've got to know what's what. We've got to know this like a scientific principle. There's only one right way to believe about this, and this is the way. Understand that this business about economics and sound currency and supply and demand, understand the logic and reason behind why this will work the way it's supposed to work if we allow it to work, but how these people aren't allowing it. So it's going to take something very abrupt. If human beings cannot successfully gain control over the money printing operation, the issuance of currency, then all we can really expect is really intervention, divine intervention. That period will come. And, so it's going to be very traumatic. It's written, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like a thief in the night. A lot of people are going to be wholly and woefully unprepared for an event as cosmic and real as divine intervention, because it's written that you're actually going to see this thing. Every eye shall see and every knee shall bow. And, this is the great separation of the wicked from the righteous. So it might take that. I mean, we all may just have to hang on to our butts through the tribulation period, this tumultuous period where our currency is worth less and less every day. Oppression just grows. Misery just grows. More dubious war, more debt, more crime, more misery, more poverty, more oppression. Okay, this looks like if these people, these monsters get their way and they've got a lot of inertia, then that's what we need to prepare ourselves for. So just brace yourself, stand up, and don't let the light within you grow cold. Okay, keep your love light warm, and best to everybody out there. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon, I hope.